Only the worthiest ninjas get companions, and to truly fight as one and move into a battle united, you need to be a master of your own abilities first. So, in the interest of comradeship, I present Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi, for the Sega Megadrive. My uncle's brother mentioned this game had a few different releases. He told me it got started out in the arcades, was ported to the Master System in a cut back version, and well, they tacked on The Secret of Shinobi subtitle, and gave it all new enemies, levels and bosses for the Mega Drive. My mum actually bought me the Mega Drive version, which plays heaps like an arcade game. It runs fast, has heaps of action, and looks really kick-ass. So you're in America this time, a gang's been taken over New York, a gang of reptile dudes called, Union Lizard, and they killed your friend. So armed with his dog, you take to the streets and clean up the mess. The manual explains it a bit better than me, but I really don't play games like this for the story. It's all about moving right and taking out as many baddies as possible, and I guess saving whatever hostages you can. Look, I spent a lot of time out on the streets, and the first level, it really proves how badass the streets can get. It has this real urban feel, one hit and you're dead. A mistake can mean your life. After 2 stages, you're at the boss. He's like a hyper-evil version of the Shredder, all metal and armor. So you fight through a hell of a lot of New York, you get this cool map, I guess so you don't get lost. Next stage, you head out onto the railed tracks, and this is actually where you start being able to really play with the different levels in the game, get behind enemies, launch attacks, be a little bit more strategic. And it sort of carries over into the second stage because it has you jumping between the foreground and the background. And it's really cool, you get to face a few different enemies, a few harder dudes, there's a lot more guns. And it's getting this much more industrial vibe. Like you're leaving the city centre, travelling out. And you keep following them straight, up until you come against the boss, who's also a wall. Don't get me wrong, I think this game is rad. There's even a few ninja techniques I learned from it. But when you come up to a boss, and it's a face and hands coming out of a wall, it totally doesn't have that epic ninja feel a boss battle should have. But shit, it's cool. One boss, I think that's a bit goofy, but this game totally kicks off the boss battles after this. In between levels, like in the first Shinobi game, you get a bonus stage. So here's your chance to get some extra lives, earn your keep. Basically, you gotta shoot all the ninjas. And I'm just really impressed how awesome it looks for a bonus stage. You get this sweet view of the city on the way down, and I guess it just feels like something different. Stage 3 for me was always a standout. Man, New York City feels so real. It's like you were even there. You scale the Statue of Liberty, while the bad dudes drop down all around you. And it's a real break from moving right. You fight your way to the top of the statue, and once you reach its head, you face another boss, which is heaps cooler than the wall face. You get to see the city in the background, and it feels like the Statue of Liberty is actually watching. Look, it's a proper epic ninja battle, and this boss only has a small hit area, so you need to be quick, you need to be precise, you need to be agile, avoiding the discs and aiming for a face. So level 4 actually threw me a bit. You're in a cave. Shadow Dancer is actually a pretty versatile game. It's pretty wicked. But yeah, these caves are the second last level, and the game is winding down, but it's totally far from being chill. You really need to work it to get any further. And you're done when you come out the other side. But now you need to fight the second last boss in this game, as you plummet towards the earth, and the guy looks like nothing I've ever seen before. Maybe some kind of demon? You need to try and predict their moves, get in the zone, hit them when there's a gap, and dodge everything else. There's a lot to take away from a ninja game like Shinobi. The whole game to me was like a learning experience. I just hope by playing this game, others can take away as much valuable information as I have. Alright, so you're at the last stage, and it's a series of rooms, each with increasingly difficult enemies, and it looks like a warehouse, and I have to admit, it's pretty plain. But think of it as a test of your ability. There's no time limits either. So make every move count, line it up, knock them down. You'll need as much energy as possible for the final battle. When you walk into the final room, the boss here looks epic. And he's got a pretty sweet view while he watches me hack through all these ninja cronies. And just when you're almost done cutting his last one in half, he rains down the fire. So yeah, you gotta be quick, you gotta find some cover, then throw your shuriken at his exposed neck. And man, this fight gets pretty epic. More and more ninjas are being summoned, and you've only got a short bit of time to get any hits in at all. But when he dies, he explodes. That's it. The game is yours. You've completed your ninja training. Now, as a fully qualified ninja, feel free to roam the streets with your companion and cut the evil dudes down to size. It's up to you to make this world peaceful again. Just like Shinobi.